Hey, good morning, everybody. If you want to make your way into the sanctuary, we're going to get started. I'm Chris Parente, been a member here since 2020, and if you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, AOL dial-up, we're glad to have you as well. We'll post the whole service afterwards, so it'll exist there for you to watch whenever you need some inspiration. Want to remind everybody as you come on in to silence your cell phones, no open container drinks, alcoholic or otherwise. We're going to have a good Sunday, come in from the cold. And a reminder that after service, a lot of folks, obviously prayer is a very personal thing. We do have prayer partners, kind of a one-on-one chance for you to sit down with folks who know affirmative prayer, can help you through with whatever you might be dealing with in a more private, intimate spot. And that'll be done today in Darwin's Den, which is just right through that hallway. It's a nice small spot. You can go make a prayer request or talk to somebody one-on-one. And we also, by the way, have prayer requests on our website anytime. You can go there, type in a prayer. It gets sent to our team of, well, I call them prayer warriors, but they will pray over it. They will pray over it. And as we work to grow our membership, I want to encourage you to become a member of Althea. Remember the old Columbia, like 1 penny, you get 15 CDs? This is an even better deal. It'll cost you nothing, but it really will mean a lot to us, get you more into the fold, and allow you to be more in tune with what's going on next. You can talk to Reverend Christina or Bob or any of the folks here if you'd like to learn more about becoming a member here at Althea. Now, you'll notice the flowers there, and they're white, the color of the snow this weekend. Isn't that wonderful? We do have flowers. We do this every Sunday. So I'll ask if anybody is here for the very first time. I don't think so. Okay. We actually do have a first-time member showing up. You and I were talking. We used to go to the same gym. So every time somebody comes for the first time, we like to offer you a flower as a way to show our thanks for taking a chance, coming out and meeting some new people, and figuring out a new way to get in touch with whatever that small, still voice is inside of you. Also want to remind you that after services, after this hour together, we always meet in the cafeteria. There's usually coffee cake, sometimes a little bit more. So afterward, if you want to make your way to the cafeteria and get warmed up before you head out, feel free to do so. I have to say, I know you look at me, you think I'm an Adonis. How do I get so ripped? Isn't that what you're thinking, Connie? The truth is, I do yoga. And I'm not a yogi, I'm not especially athletic, I'm not in great shape, but the yoga class held here is, I call it my Tuesday night church. It is the most profound thing I've ever done. It's not high impact, but it combines, she said it's the language of your body. And it's an intensely spiritual, beautiful thing by my good friend Linda, who is a yogi many, many years, decades of training. That's on Tuesday nights. I went for the first of the series last Tuesday, blown away by it. I highly encourage, no matter what your physical level, your skill level, your age, you don't have to bend like a pretzel. You just have to come and be willing. It's from 5:45 to 7 o'clock on Tuesdays. She accepts payment at the door, and you can work that out with her when you come. It's usually held also in Darwin's Den. I hope to see a lot more faces this coming Tuesday. Also want to remind you we have a night of music and connection with nationally touring singer-songwriter Jesse Powers, celebrating really one of the brightest stars in the next wave of new thought. Her songs, Jesse's songs and stories will take place Saturday, March 1st at 6:30, and of course all that is on our website as well. Now, normally this guy wraps it up for us at the end of every Sunday. Where's Bob? Oh my God, he's behind. Is he behind me? He's right behind me, isn't he? Welcome Bob to the podium now to talk a little bit more about the board and what's going on with our board of directors. Bob.
Applause is okay. So thank you for that warm-up act. I appreciate it. Now here's the real thing. Just get ready to laugh. Board blurb. I'm here to give you an update on what the board, your board, has been doing. We meet once a month for anywhere from 2 to 3 hours and take care of as my uncle from Virginia would say, the business of Althea. So we take care of all the business. First of all, just to give you an update, I know we've had some problems with pests in this building, and I'm not including any of you here as a pest, but these are those little pests with the cute little tails. And we did some research and hired a really good firm to come out for we paid them quite a bit of money, and since they've been here, we don't have any pests in the building with the little tails, so that's a good thing. And if you look up, you will notice that the sanctuary ceiling has been repainted. We also have a new visitor table that Luis has started back there for people that come in, just so we can find a way to help make people that come for the first time more welcome. Then it's nice to give them a flower, but it's also nice to give them a little attention, see if they have questions, and if they want to learn something new about Althea. Luis has set up a table that's going to be there every Sunday. And this is the most important thing. At our last meeting, we talked about the new budget for Althea. And we got the new budget all set and in place, and we have a new accountant, which excites me as a former numbers person. As far as our room rentals, St. Francis has moved to a larger location, and they were our biggest tenant here. And so Spirit of the Sun, which had a smaller office suite upstairs, decided to take over all of their rooms also. So Spirit of the Sun took over St. Francis, which is really good. We really enjoy our relationship with Spirit of the Sun. The downstairs basement space has been painted and updated, and it's ready for renting out. We had some volunteers help with that, and we really appreciate that help. Winter's Gift, which is our annual holiday gala, we raised over $1,000 from that event, which is good. We don't really do it as a fundraiser, but we like it when we raise money for that also. Ricky has done some investigation, and we have a new calendar system that all of the board and staff can access that every day shows what's going on in every single room in this building. It helps us schedule and plan and look and see what's going on. And I don't think we've announced this. I can't remember, but a gentleman named Walter Dewey passed away several months ago and left us money in his life insurance policy. We had to jump quite a few hurdles with the Veterans Affairs, and Ricky spent about 2 months going back and forth with them, and we finally got his gift to us, which was $10,000. So thank you, Walter. And Reverend Christina has many plans moving forward. She plans to establish an endowment fund. There's lots of workshops and classes, and we're really focused on bringing more youth into our center, into Althea. And also, we're getting ready to plan ahead for the spring metaphysical fair, which is always a big deal here. For those of you who have been, you know what it's like. So thank you very much for your kind and prompt and pleasant attention to the board blurb. I know you can't wait for the next one.
Thank you, Bob. Good morning. Thank you all for braving the cold, the snow, a little bit of ice. I am Reverend Christina. I want to say that it's a joy to be here. I've been here since August of 2023. Bob has welcomed me and so many other people with open arms. Bob, Barbara, Serona, and so many people. Thank you so much. Althea is a non-denominational center steeped in affirmative prayer, meditation. We celebrate the oneness in all. You may ask what that means. We do not judge based on race, religion, sexual orientation. We recognize we see you, that we are all connected from one divine source, be it called God, being called Allah, oneness, universal love, which I like universal love, and supreme creator. And anyone else that's new, I'm going to invite you to not only raise your hand, but stand up. Chris, you want to stand up? You may as well stand up. Anyone else that's new here, stand up so we can just give you an applause of love, and thank you for being here. And Connie and Mike, welcome back, guys. And they live up the mountains near me, and Brave down here. They're amazing prayer practitioners, or as Chris said, spiritual prayer warriors, and we can all use that right now. You can meet with them in Darwin's Den and to go into a deeper dive of what we do. Oh, not today? Where are we meeting? Oh, Leah's. Okay, sorry. Well, she's an amazing prayer warrior, too. So feel free to come meet with her. And now, Luis will be grounding us in centering prayer. Thank you, Luis.
Good morning, everyone. I have a special prayer for us. It's Treatment to Develop Divine Love by the metaphysical teacher from Venezuela, Connie Mendez. Originally written in Spanish and translated by yours truly. All right, so if you'll ground with the earth, place your feet, heels, everything on the earth, straighten up your spine and connect with Father Sky. Feel that breath coming in and out as we say these words. My soul is full of divine love. I am surrounded by divine love. I radiate love and peace to the whole world. I am conscious of divine love. God is love, and nothing exists in the creation but God and his expression. All human beings are expressions of divine love in such a way that I cannot encounter anything but expressions of divine love. Nothing else can occur except the expressions of divine love. All of this is the truth now. This is the case now, the actual state of things. I don't have to strain for this to happen. I observe it at this moment. Divine love is the nature of my being. There is nothing but divine love, and I know it. I understand perfectly what divine love is. I have a conscious understanding of divine love. The love of God burns in me towards all of humanity. I am a light of God radiating divine love towards everyone that I encounter, towards everyone I think about. I forgive everything. Everything that needs my forgiveness, absolutely everything. Divine love fills my heart and everything is perfect. Now I radiate love to all the universe without any exception. I experience divine love. I manifest divine love. I give thanks to God for this. I give these words over to the mind of God, knowing that it has been heard, and so it is. Amen.
Good morning. If you are willing and able, will you please stand and join me in our statement of being and face of God. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. We are individualized expressions of God and are ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. The face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. We are a family. You are the face of God.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg. That's my husband. Just saying. Thank you. And now, welcome back a beautiful soul. Some of you know him by a birth name. He's had a spiritual awakening, and it's Cypress Apollonia. I met him in 2023. Beautiful voice, beautiful soul inside and out. He's a gifted vocalist and spiritual practitioner. Draws from a rich blend of Celtic, operatic, and intuitively guided styles. He will be intuiting what you would call light language, a love light language from a divine. He incorporates this unique, deeply spiritual form of expression rooted in their personal constellation of higher consciousness. He has a background singing with the gay men's choir in St. Louis, Denver's Orpheus Pagan Chamber Choir, and brings a wealth of experience to his art. Welcome, Cypress Apollonia. Welcome back, honey.
I want to bring in energies for this time to kind of a war cry of peace from a very goddess-centered energy. Colorum Dea erum, iferum atiedarea, ifarea dedorum, sestra dieruno, iedra nietuo. We're going to segue into another version. Ivoru edanur, yesedalien, usodore, iandreus dor, iefanum. Ivanum ieresha, im volum revanum, im chiavum datro edum novre, im iodopreum. Ida novra edum, yashe de.
Good morning. There's a word in this first reading that I'd never heard of before, so I looked it up, and this is what defines that word, and you'll hear it in the reading. Okay, let me see. It's called a holon, H-O-L-O-N, is something that is simultaneously a whole in and of itself, as well as part of a larger whole. In this way, a holon can be considered a subsystem within a larger hierarchical system. Here's the quote. It's from Judy Canato, who is an author, retreat facilitator, and a spiritual director. Living in freedom requires that we recognize the connectedness that is a basic reality of our existence. That we are holons within holons within holons. All we do affects all the other wholes of which we are a part, and all the other parts that make us whole. Living in freedom is a conscious way in a conscious way means that we are always becoming part of a greater whole, trusting that the Creator is continuing to create, not only within us, but all around us. And this from Henri Joseph Michael Hoven, a Dutch priest, professor, writer of social justice. The mystery indeed is that God, in her infinite compassion, has linked herself for eternity with the life of her children. She has freely chosen to become dependent on her creatures, whom she has gifted with freedom. But her joy will not be complete until all who have received life from her have returned. Thank you.
Gifted with freedom. We are all gifted with freedom. It's innate. It's in every holy scripture. The gift of free will. Last week, I was Zooming the message. You may find it on Facebook or YouTube. Because it was the day before MLK and the day before the inauguration, where some people are happy in the country and some people aren't. This two-part series, we ended today with the freedom and focus. But we continue to get to be free. And we have to focus on freedom. We have to focus on what we want, not what we don't want. So when we get wrapped up in anything that appears to be negative, unlike the light of spirit, the light of love, which Martin Luther King Jr., it wasn't about just rights, civil rights. It was about love. I mentioned it last week. That was his main hope, was love. Even though he was a Baptist minister, everything was about love and unification and oneness. That's what these teachings are. This building's over 100 years old, created by the first female minister in the state of Colorado. Wow. Freedom. She spoke of freedom and love. And it's not new thought, it's old. We have to focus on what we do want. And Emma Curtis Hopkins, born in the 1800s, born in the 1800s, she was Nona Brooks' teacher. She was Ernest Holmes' teacher. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, who started Unity. How many of you all have heard of Unity? She taught all them. And they were all friends with Nona Brooks and walked in this building. You're in good hands in Allstate. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. That just slipped up. You're in good hands with the divine, with light, with love, with truth and wisdom. And she says, God is freedom from dominion. God is freedom from the idea of dominion. Dominion does not exist with God. This is from a book that she wrote on her interpretation of the Gospels. She continues to say, there is no dominion with God. And continues to say that God is neither black, white, male, or female. And I think if she was here today, she would say, or gay, lesbian, or trans. God is all. And that's the truth. So we have to feel the freedom no matter what goes outside these doors. Rick Kitzman, he's around here somewhere, amazing practitioner, prayed us in. So before anyone walks in this building, there's prayer always going. And that we have to move beyond what is going on outside and listen to what's going on inside. I'm not saying inside this building, not inside what I'm saying, but inside. Deep requires deep right now, more than ever. We get to shift the consciousness. I'm going to keep saying that. We have a freedom of choice. I'll share a brief story of in the mid-90s, I worked at the Cheesecake Factory. How many of you all like the Cheesecake Factory? See, yeah. In Baltimore, Maryland. And I just got promoted as one of the youngest assistant managers at the time. I say I'm about 25 years old. And usually on Mondays, it's slow. Very quiet. You could roll a bowling ball through this place. But there was a group of people that came in. They were lively. And they were business people. And all the women were dressed nice. And they were funny. And it was like 20 people. We had to set up this big table. And they were the only ones there. And as I'm on the food prep line, we're all laughing because we're hearing how much fun they're having. You think it's a Friday night. And they weren't drinking. They all had sodas and tea. And we're like, who slipped them some vodka? And it was a Monday. A lot of people in corporate aren't so happy on Mondays. And I walked around this big mahogany wooden wall that was at the Cheesecake Factory. It divided the kitchen to a living room. And I just leaned there. And I'm watching them. Now, at this time, I was going to a Unity church, 26 years old, seeking spirituality, which was very hard for me in Baltimore. Very traditional, staunch Christian. I grew up in New Orleans, two totally different worlds. And I'm watching this joy of them having fun. And I asked the waitstaff, where are they from? Well, they're in town. They work for this company called Future Electronics. I was like, what a cool name. So I decided to go over there and just check on them and see how they're doing. And a woman had this huge crystal on, which, if you know me, I have tons of crystals on. It was like I almost fell into her crystal necklace. It was gorgeous. And she told me about their company based in Canada. It's all over the world. Huge electronics industry. And she gives me her card because she said, there's something about you, young lady. She said, I don't live too far, and sometimes I come into town. Love to have lunch with you. Total stranger. Because she said, remember, we don't just work for Future Electronics. You control your future. And they got back to her. I'm blown away. Metaphysically, I'm going, there's something here. I let it go. About a year later, my girlfriend gets a job at Future Electronics. Okay? Then she tells me they're hiring. I'm like, well, I don't have an engineering degree. She said, no, they're looking for young people. They're looking for the next generation. Guess who worked at Future Electronics for 8 years? And moved me out here for free. And at 29 years old, I'm making $150,000. And they paid for my college and for my nutrition degree. And when I was visiting a Mile High church, supported me, and some of them started to go to church with me. Wow. I focused. I realized that. I was focusing on my future. Because I even thought it was a cool card, just the name of it. But I chose the freedom of that in lieu of some of my friends, and some of them I still talk to on the East Coast, who hurt from waiting tables for over 25 years. Now, I'm not judging them, but one of them told me, I stayed in this industry too long and my body's hurting. And I realized I focused on something even better when I didn't know how I was going to show up. That's freedom. And I didn't worry about the how. I didn't worry about the when. I just let everything flow. And that's what we have to do. No matter what side of the aisle you are on, we have to focus on the possibility of good. The King in Black Panther. I love Black Panther. I'm just saying. I am a comic book junkie. And the character says this: more connects us than separates us. I'm going to say that again. More connects us than separates us. That's oneness. But in times of crisis, the wise bridges, while the foolish build barriers. We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe. Oneness. That's one single tribe. Now, that's from a movie. But of course, someone wrote that for Bozeman, and he was acting in this. But that moved me. One single tribe. We are one spiritual organism. And even though they may be people, it could be friends, family, politicians, bosses, we don't agree on their behavior, like it or not, get ready for it. We're all from one source. So even if someone, as King would say, hurt you, or is racist towards you, or not love you, or even want you dead, you're to hold the light of love. He didn't say become a doormat. Yeshua ben Joseph, known as Jesus, did not say become a doormat. He did say love your enemies, but he did not say to be stepped upon. So that's not what I'm saying. But you do not have to go low. You do not have to wish that person dead. Because I've been hearing that a lot. This person needs to die. That person needs to die. It's like, ooh. Because when we wish someone else ill, we do it to us. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. That's in Scripture, but it's also in Egyptology and Hinduism. So I say we start focusing on the good. Because we get what we focus upon. That's what these teachings are based upon. That's what many teachings are based upon. So find a way to shift that, because you have freedom to do that. A friend of mine sent me a picture, which I thought she was joking, of eggs at King Soopers, $17.57. I'm like, Lori, stop messing with me. And she said, no, it's real. But when I went to a natural grocer's, I paid $3.99. And I said, you're focused on the wrong place. You need to go here. And then she went and found eggs for $3.99. I'm like, that's that store. And I'm not putting down Kroger or King Soopers. Don't send me anything on Facebook. But maybe that's a form of fear, because I've been hearing it on the news. But I'm like, well, that's not what I saw. And we do have local farmers here. There's some in Denver. You can buy eggs from people and it won't cost that much. Move our focus. Move our focus. My great-grandmother, you probably heard this before, where there's a way, there's a will. Well, I believe the will is the way. The will is the way. And if something goes up, say, okay, I'm affirming that more abundance is coming to me. I don't know how. Remember, I didn't know how I was going to move into a different career. I didn't know how I was going to pay for school. I didn't know how I was going to move to Colorado. Because when I was 5 years old, my great-grandfather said, you will live in the mountains. I don't know what state it is. Hello? That job paid for, you understand? I didn't know the how. We may not know the how of peace coming. It is darkest before the dawn. We're in one of those loops. Time is not linear. It does this. It goes like this. It's a wave. And some days I think it's a spiral. Because there have been times like this before on the planet, long before we were all born. Nona Brooks has gone through things. There were things in the 1600s, the 1700s. Our country went through the Civil War. And think about the Jews with Moses. That's proof we come out of any challenge. But it's up to us not to freak out. We have come out of COVID. I know a lot of people left, but if you're still here, hello, you made it through. We're built to thrive. This year's topic is coming alive in 2025. I believe we're coming alive. There's a lot of truths being revealed. And there's a lot of manipulation being revealed. But we get to stand in light and knowing everything always works out. I'm from a family of riches and severe poverty and even mental illness. You could not have told me when I was 17 years old that I would be living in Colorado. And all the things I've done and continue to do and travel around the world. Because my mother, she never left Louisiana, ever, until I moved in 1999. I have family members that still live deep down there. They don't leave the small towns. But there's another group of us that chose, we didn't know how, including my cousin. I don't know how I'm going to live there. He lives where he lives. That's the not knowing. And by the way, he's not in these teachings at all. He doesn't believe even like a God exists. But I continue to laugh at him because he continues to manifest his life because I know his consciousness, even though he considers himself an atheist. So that goes to tell you, spirit doesn't care. Spirit doesn't care if you're an atheist, whatever you label yourself. The laws of the universe continue to work. Reverend Marie Kirkland, one of my mentors, this is an amazing woman. We get to create and say how we experience our life. She's been telling this to me for 2 years. I was like, can I use this as a quote? She's like, what? I was like, you don't even know you're telling me this? This woman's a retired Army sergeant. She's been a minister for over 30 years, created several ministries, and she's writing her first book. She's amazing. She's so amazing she doesn't even know that she's amazing. Because she just flows and allows spirit. We get to create and say the life we want. Greg Braden recently, who I follow on YouTube, he's written many books. He's actually been on this very stage. Talks about timelines and fractal time. And he said, what timeline now are you going to live in? Is it fear or is it love? Because individually, we get to create our happiness. We get to create love. Because spirit does what spirit does. Spirit's always love. Spirit's oneness. Spirit's non-judgmental. Spirit's not fear. Now, granted, the human condition is very real. Those eggs that were $17, very real. But you can choose to either go into the fear or put them down and say, A, can you live without eggs? Yes, you can. Just saying. If you have to, you can. 2, let me see if there's another place to get eggs if you really want them. You have a choice to go, oh my God, I like Chicken Little, or okay, and leave them there. Or buy them. It's choice. Don't react, respond. How are you going to respond? That's for my husband. He's told me that for years. Don't react, honey. Respond. So that's the freedom we have, is a response. What's our response going to be this year? Don't go into, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen. People are talking about, oh, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 or 5 years. Be here now. There you go, breathe. Take a deep breath. And Louise, your prayer was beautiful because it's true. We are divine light. Get yourself grounded. Get yourself grounded. So I'm going to invite everyone here. If you're close to someone, I want you to look at someone. Just pick anyone and tell each other, you are divine light and love. You are divine light and love. You are divine light and love. And say this, you have the freedom to love. You have the freedom to love. Ricky, can you come please? Thank you. It's freedom. Freedom to change your name. Right, Cypress? I chose my name, went to Peru 10 years ago, and that was it. Freedom. I had a moment this morning like, oh, I'm going to wear jeans. Oh, what will they think? And I'm like, oh, freedom. Freedom to be comfortable and warm. Freedom to be love, light. Freedom to create and say the life we want to experience. So we want to experience love and abundance and joy. despite what's going on outside of your house, outside of you, no one gets to tell you how to feel but you. And as I say that to you, I say that to me. No one gets to choose and tell us how to feel and how to be. Let's go high in a higher frequency and watch the world change. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. Feel the seat. And if you're online watching it now or later, take a moment, several moments this week, to allow the channel of the divine, for there is one life, and that life is God's life, and that life is our life now, for we are oneness. We're created by that same energy that created Kuan Yin, Yeshua ben Joseph, Ganesha, Thoth, the planet Venus, Saturn, Moon, and Mars. We are gathered with that oneness and that light. And I know right here and now we step into a line of freedom, a portal of light, love, joy, and wisdom. As the archangels and our spirit guides are here, we're diving deeper into the light, into the love and the wisdom that we all are. We are all community. We are all oneness. And we release any beliefs of dominion. And I know, sense and feel, we allow in communion and collaboration and clarity and higher consciousness. I'm so grateful for this space, for Ricky playing the piano, for everyone online, for the love, and for the divine supreme creator that created all of us in that one energy of love and light and wisdom and harmony. So grateful as I release this into the powerful law of the divine field of love, where it is already done in this timeline, in this oneness. And so it is. Amen.
It's so funny that the expressions of the one that you mentioned in your prayer, a couple of them have been coming through for the singing. And this next energy is compassion and peace and love. Odreira seruira o Rianondera esha donuro Imsareo Yeharo. Pardon me. Dearo. Eunondanie daleranu imbionuoto eadashe imbono yo telanundadie adeu adeu resha Dea Deu.
Thank you, Cypress. And now is the time of the beautiful community giving and sharing. This is a time of great circulation. If you seek abundance, you have to circulate it out. Everything is infinite. All your abundance and gifts goes to this building. Bob shared a lot of things, like last year we had to get a new boiler to keep this place nice, warm, and toasty. An old girl needs a facelift and snow removal, but I'd like to thank everyone who's been giving here for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. Thank you for your time, talent, and treasure. And we do have a dip jar in the back. It takes debit cards, $10 debit dips. And you may give online at altheacenter.org. You can scan the QR code. Thank you, Jason. And hold your gift or tithe, or even your intention, or even your cell phone, your credit card, or even when you go to a grocery store. Know everything circulates back to you. And together we say, the universe provides all that I need and all that I give. With great joy, I share my prosperity, planting seeds for a world I'm helping manifest. And so it is. And giving and sharing is caring. So we accept it, and my husband and I give. I come from a giving family, and I will tell you the law of circulation works. Even when my mother and I were struggling, and we found a wallet filled with money with no identification and no one around. We walked to a unity church in New Orleans, and we gave a tenth. And it continued to flow ever since then. It always flows. So thank you. And now, we are ready for you, gentlemen, in our community song. And if you like to give also in time, also see Kristen. Where's Kristen? Oh, well, Kristen's in the back. She's our volunteer coordinator. If you'd like to know more, thank you, Luis. He's our new member coordinator. And we have a table in the back, and I'll be in the back with Luis, too, if you want to know more. So thank you. And the words are on the screen. Wonderful. And you all may stand up and sing or sit down and sing.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. The world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another mountain. All righty. Grab a hand. Grab 2 hands. Grab 4 hands. And let's get ready to shout it out. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is that thing called life. I am creating my life from the inside out. I feel it. I know it. And I am it. And so it is.